Good evening, spirits and specters, and welcome to another bone-chilling session of Blood from a Stone. And boy, has it been a minute. Our last session was, I think, on like the 3rd of this month, or the 3rd of last month. We've been off for several weeks, but due to illnesses, some of them my own. Actually, I think the only illnesses were my own. And various other sort of availability things, but we're back here, although it is not the session that we were expecting. That session will still happen. There will still be a session live, even if it does not literally take place when a Roman numeral would spell live. What we'll do is it will be live, and then it will be plus, like, a non-Roman numeral. And, that'll be however many other players there'll be.
Oh, I like that.
That's almost clever.
Because tonight...
That's what I'm doing is almost clever. Yes, tonight. So Blood from a Stone, we're gonna need to like get like a bit of kind of getting back into it. The dread clock, a clock rolling from 0 to 13, from 0 to 13, from 1 to 13, sits at 8. Can Lauren, as Sarah Quill on her own, get it all the way up to 13?
Hope not.
Statistically improbable in the system that is used in Mercher, which is a D100 system that will actually be very familiar to most folks on account of it's what we run 2 nights a week for starters. So Sarah Quill. Before we sort of get started, I guess I'll even ask out there into chat. Let me go to chat here real quick. Pizza party, you know, pizza in the morning, pizza in the evening, pizza
at supper time.
If pizza's on a bagel, you can eat pizza anytime. You know what else you can eat pizza anytime? Is when pizza's not on a bagel.
That's true.
You can still eat it anytime. The time you can't eat pizza is when somebody says they're ordering pizza for tonight's game, when I've already started cooking, not pizza. And every bite of it tasted like disgusting not pizza. every like I was like, oh, like this delicious, oh wow, this zucchini that I made with this nice stuff on it. And I ate it and was like, oh, that doesn't taste anything like pizza. I wish I'd been able to throw it in the waiter's face, but I'm the waiter. Because I brought it to my own coffee table. So I could eat it while watching Physical on Apple Plus, and now everybody knows what I'm up to.
I do have a question that's actually relevant to this game that we are about to play.
I'm engaging with our community right now. God damn it. So mean.
Do I just use my old character sheet for dear Sarah?
Sarah has not altered. Any alterations to Sarah Quill have been made on that character sheet. I just said bean. Like I'm Canadian. I'm really not. Geographically, I'm from the opposite of Canada. But I did want to ask chat kind of quick as we sort of get into this, and I'll give a general recap because Blood from a Stone is sort of a new game. We might even have some people who've joined our channel sort of since we last played it, or might not have seen that in a while. I did want to ask. If anyone out there who is a watcher of this, like, what they know of Mercher. We've revisited Mercher not terribly long ago, but, like, who knows what about Mercher? If people remember Mercher, remember the things that have happened there, characters such as Sarah Quill, Conrad Bourgeois, Sister Mercy, Rawlings is elsewhere now. Poor Rawlings. Poor Rawlings. He sort of got out, and then Mikey Santangelo went in, and Siobhan. So effectively,
he's one of my very best friends.
Yeah. Well, we'll just sort of talk about this in sort of our usual general terms in that case. Blood from a Stone is a game that encompasses several different domains of dread, what we actually refer to as DREADLANDS. Each one is ruled over by sort of a dark lord, and each of these Dreadlands has has a different sort of system to it, different rules, both mechanically, but also in terms of like what happens, what gets you places. For example, when we were in Hysteles, morality was being called into question. People were sort of being compelled to do bad things, and we'll be getting more of that soon once we return there to see how Dahlia Bot does on her quest to try and kill a vampire to save another vampire, because the second one is the one she loves. Merkshire is a realm of madness. It's a place where every little creaking floorboard holds the promise of an unwelcome presence in your room. Every book you read implies things about the nature of your reality that can strain your mind, strain your sanity. And as such, we've had some characters here kind of have their sanity scores be reduced to 0. So that's another way that you can sort of die in this one. When we first visited Merkshire, we were following a character named Sarah Quill, along with several others, members of the Order of the Opal Octopus, as they investigated the disappearance of Darla Quicklime from an area called Thatchford-cum-Lowgrave. They ventured up there from the city of Merk. They rather immediately got whisked off on a sort of side quest, smoldering gentleman. And they went to the manor house of Bitter End. There, one of their members, Siobhan, had this kind of like weird, sort of quasi-whatever relationship with the young master of the house. The group engaged in some sort of light, sort of investigations of various matters around this house, but really they kind of sort of lost some of the thread of what it was they had been looking for. And in the process, Sarah Quill actually, through some extremely improbable rolls, some like successive improbable rolls on separate nights, Sarah Quill was very badly injured. And while doing so, she was basically like, how will I phrase this? She was kind of trying to kill someone because she had gone temporarily insane. She was trying to shoot her friends with a rifle. I mean, are you rebutting that point? You certainly may.
No, it wasn't my fault. I was temporarily out of my mind, and I didn't mean it, but in the moment I meant it, and I must own up to that.
Effective.
I'm sorry to my very best and very dearest friends.
The horrors that happened in this house, kind of Sarah then didn't. She witnessed some of them. She encountered some sort of spectral appearances, some ghosts. She found a sort of a wing of the house, the northwest wing, that had been locked, but then was suddenly opened. But for the most part, after her sort of attack and then the injury she sustained as they were wrestling this gun out of her hands, Sarah Quill was bedridden. Or at least until this strange plant began to sort of draw the blood from her. The Dark Lord's and Lady's Flower. A plant that Sarah vaguely remembered as why they came up here in the first place. To find Darla Quicklime, a botanist who was intrigued by the sudden reappearance of these plants. Does Sarah Quill, do you think Sarah Quill would well remember various things that were said by the other members of the group about, like, in their research? Like, would she remember, like, cases that Judge McGregor talked about?
Yes, however, I don't believe that she would understand the context very well.
Okay. Very honest answer. One that I appreciate. Then I'll tell you what, before we actually sort of jump into it and read our invocation, all this fun stuff, I would like for you, Miss Sarah Quill,
Yes.
to please Just roll a no roll. That is your intelligence, so it's a 65. So roll a d100 against, 65 again. Talking like I'm a Canadian, don't know why.
That is a 62.
That is a success.
Yes.
Then we will give you some degree of knowledge of sort of some of just kind of a minor recap to some of this. Judge McGregor had... I'm kind of just saying this and you'll sort of maybe remember some of this at another point. There were some murders in Laugrave several years ago. The Judge McGregor sort of spoke to you about some ritualistic murders related to an entity called the Green Man. Some sort of folk figure sort of makes the plants grow, but seems to maybe have a darker sort of possible side. There was a young lad named Borman Slaughter, who was an infant who survived a particularly sort of grisly part of the murders there. It appeared that he was married at the age of 14, so several years after this, to a woman named Emma Slaughter, or Emma Slaughter now, her former name was Stiles, and she seemed to be significantly older than him when they were wed. But these murders are kind of these murders were sort of a thing that Sarah Quill had heard about the town of Laugrave, so we're going to say that you may remember those upon seeing them, because we think she probably would. Sarah Quill, upon having this blood sort of sucked out of her hand by this flower, found herself much revived, and also desirous of drinking other people's blood. And eventually, a man came to her when she was tied to her bed, and when no one else was there, and it looked like he was going to smother her with a pillow. But he was very handsome, like matinee idol good looks. But her friend sort of tried to talk him out of this, and they basically made the claim that they would find some means of curing her, whether that was simply keeping her tied up so she couldn't sort of have any access to whatever plant had done this, whatever vampiric germ had started. This gentleman actually suggested that they take her to an angel who had apparently taken up residence in the town of Laugrave. Sarah Quill was spared by her friends. They accepted that if a single drop of blood made it into Sarah Quill's lips, that their lives would be forfeit. They left her there, but then, amidst a dread storm of incredible snow, Sarah Quill managed to throw off her bindings in this bed, climb out with vampiric reflexes and grip out of her window, go into the snow in her nightgown. A horse rushed after her, the black horse itself, a horse that seemingly was not about vampires right now. But, in a most impressive way, given the role she made that night, Sarah Quill outran the black horse and escaped into the woods, away from Bitter End. But a voice in her head said she couldn't really get away. That dark horse. Even so, Sarah Quill ran. What happened after that is unknown to her and does not need to be recapped here. But suffice it to say, we left Merkshire after that. As aside from Sarah, who was on a different path, there was no one's story left to follow for the time. But now we return to follow her story. Again, the dread clock stands at the count of 8. And here is our invocation for the evening. I lived, I loved, I quaffed like thee. I died, let earth my bones resign. Fill up, thou canst not injure me. The worm hath fouler lips than thine. Better to hold the sparkling grape than nurse the earthworm's slimy brood, and circle in the goblet shape the drink of gods than reptiles' food.
I'm in danger.
I typically don't give context on those. I guess I won't either, but I really like the name of that poem. Because when you know the name of that poem, it becomes much less scary and yet still pretty scary. So. Sarah Quill.
Yes.
You make your way through the woods of this region of Merkshire called Thatchford cum Laugrave. Something pulls you beyond your heightened senses, beyond that iron taste that you crave in your mouth, that taste of blood. Something pulls you like a compass, and you find yourself passing through a forest that is much warmer than the snow-covered area around Bitter End, the snow that seemingly fell almost impossibly. It is not a particularly warm period of time, but that snow was, blizzard-like. Eventually, it doesn't even feel that cold, though it is the night. Sarah, you're not sure how long you walk, but eventually you hear singing. You hear a folk song being sung in the distance. Would you make a listen roll? Let's see how much of it you can hear from here.
Yes. That is a success.
A success. The song goes. And we all will sing the last green song. Hey nonny nonny nonny, hey nonny no will we sing. And with one exultant voice, we will sing with one green noise. Hey nonny nonny nonny, hey nonny no will we sing. As you sort of find yourself pulled in this direction, still in the cover of the trees, you look down and see a small village, one that does not appear to be in great repair. The buildings there, here in the darkness of the night, seem sort of derelict, run down. There's a lot of various detritus around what streets there were. There is no pavement anywhere here, just sort of some dirt roads that lead in. It is, aside from the blizzard, it is rather rainy and wet. But in the middle of what was and still is the town square, there is a raging fire. And around this fire, several people are moving and dancing, singing this song. And we all will sing the last green song. Hey nonny nonny nonny, hey nonny no will we sing. And with one exultant voice we will sing in one green noise. Hey nonny nonny nonny, hey nonny no will we sing. They look like the best of friends. What does Sarah Quill do? And I will sort of proceed however you want to, but I imagine that you were at least, I believe the reason you fled was to try to get away from people you could hurt and maybe help them by
Yes.
losing this vampirism.
Yes. And I would like to continue to observe. However, I would like to maintain my distance.
Okay.
As much as possible. Is my desire to consume the blood of others overwhelming, or is there? Do I get a sense of a safe distance at which I can observe?
You did rush someone. I cannot. Let me look back at session 47 to see if you actually drank that monster, or if you got to it and realized it wasn't a monster.
No, I didn't, because it would have made me sick, I think.
Yeah. You sort of like rushed to it, and then the black horse came for it, and then you sort of that was you running. So Sarah Quill, you're not hungry. So yeah. I guess I am gonna need a sanity roll for you to stay. No. We'll do. Okay, wow, your sanity is. Oh my God, her sanity is so bad. Hey, everyone out there watching, guys, her sanity is low. This is a roll under D100 system, so you have to roll under your score. So the higher your score is, statistically, the easier it is to do that. Like if you got like a 90, you'd roll under it 90% of the time. What's your sanity score right now?
It is 22.
22.
With a maximum of 96, which that is plummeted.
All right. So, dear.
Yes.
Sarah Quill.
Yes.
Make a sanity roll. No. Make a power roll. Make a power roll.
Thank you. I do appreciate that.
Neither's great, but
35.
that is under your power.
It is.
You are not, though you can, and I mean, it sort of is that eerie sort of vampiric sight, like even from this distance, as you see these people sort of dancing around the fire, you can see it. You can almost see like their blood pumping in their bodies, even just lit by silhouette, or lit as silhouette lit by the intense flame there.
If I am feeling parched for their blood, I would like to then go elsewhere. I would like to drink their blood, but I would not like to, because I do not want to cause harm. So.
Amen. So.
A woman.
Well, sure. Where would you like to go, Miss Quill?
The town that seems in disrepair.
That is where this is happening.
Right. Oh, well, is there a way for me to go? It seems like everyone is collected in this particular area.
Oh, yes, certainly. So you would like to continue towards the town, but maybe going to a different spot.
Yes.
All right. So, make a, I don't remember what we called it in this system. It's either look or is it spot hidden? Make a spot hidden roll. You're actually quite adept at those.
Oh. Let's hope. It is a 44.
A 44.
Yes. Hard success.
A hard success for Miss Quill. Sarah Quill, you look around the village. A number of houses, number of little sort of structures. You do see that there is a, how will I phrase this? Right off of where this is, there's like a slightly larger building than any others. It looks like an extremely rough town hall. Mm-hmm. Probably used to be much nicer and has like part of the ceiling of this is sunken. But there does appear to be a large town hall sort of off, but like the front of that town hall is almost utterly like abutting the flame that is going on. So there is a back entrance to that. The other thing you would notice, though, as you look through, is there is one house a little further than all the others. This house looks even more abandoned than any of the others. There's no sort of signs of light. Mm-hmm. No animals outside of it. And there is a large rear garden in this house.
Does it look quaint and adorable? I understand decrepit, but does it look cute?
I want to say no, but sometimes Sarah Quill can see. I would think that perhaps this house did once look cute, which is probably the most that could be said.
Well, I would like to pursue all avenues of this new condition in which I find myself, so I would like to go into the garden to see if any vegetables seem particularly appetizing, if there might be any. So I would like to go into the
All right.
garden.
And you are trying to be sneaky?
Yes.
What?
I would like to avoid encountering human beings if possible.
Understood. I'm going to say that this is going to be, I'm going to give you a bonus on this.
Okay.
So, bonus just like in Star Wars, you're going to roll an extra D100. Make a stealth roll with a bonus, and this is probably going to be an easy task. So you really only need to roll under a 54, not a, what is your score here?
For...
Oh yeah, 54, 27, so yeah, double that. So easy means you double your normal score. So make your stealth roll, you need to roll under a 54, and you have one bonus on the roll. And a bonus in this game is that when you're, I'm holding up the wrong die for a reason I picked these, but, a D100, you have the sort of like the ones column and the tens column here. Ooh, see that?
Right.
And when you roll with a bonus, I'm saying this to our viewers.
Oh,
you know this.
I was like, yes.
When you roll with a bonus, you get to roll basically two of these, with the tens column, and use the lower.
Do you have to use sanity or luck to bring it down?
Luck to bring it down. What did you roll?
I would like to use 2 points of luck because I rolled a 29.
29. You'll need to use 5 points of luck. You need a 54.
Oh, okay. Well, how much? Yes. Okay.
46.
Can't that.
Or had you already taken 2 off?
Yes.
You're good. Just then everything's great. Okay. In any case, Sarah Quill, you creep down, and the people singing their song, they don't really hear you all that much. You manage to get to this garden. Interestingly, the garden seems to be... Garden actually seems to kind of be in better repair than you might think. It looks like it has recently been sort of areas of it have actually been cleared. And you don't see a particularly heavy, rotted flower cover. Nothing is growing, nothing's blooming, but it seems like someone has been in the garden section of it.
Like trimming the weeds and stuff?
Yes, clearing things out.
Are there any vegetables?
Let's roll... What should we roll for this? I'm sure your nature is just nothing, because it's just the root. This system's so mean about, knowing also, stuff.
I was not allowed outside very much.
Then let's just go ahead and make a spot hidden. Yes, we'll just say that as you're sort of just looking it out.
Oh, that's a 1!
A 1?
Yes.
Wow.
Like vegetables, I'm a forager.
That's great.
That's hard.
That's really good. So you begin to look through to see if there are any vegetables here. There are not really any. This seems to be more of a flower garden, or at least it was. Some of the flower bushes or flowering plants are still alive and still have flowers on them. However, with a 1, you rather quickly spot something that has been grown or has been planted here. Some dirt must have sort of kicked it off or something. You see sort of in the dirt what looks like part of a human face, about just this much.
Oh. When, can I smell them, but not very closely?
You definitely may. You can make a sniff. Is smell a stat in this?
Ooh, let's see. Let's
I'm
control F.
I don't know if it actually is in this old system.
If not.
I'm gonna let you use your I'll let you use your spot hidden roll, because that's been heightened, and I think your scent of such things should be higher.
An 8.
An 8?
Yes.
Yeah, it's extreme. This system also doesn't have the vitals the way we do in Star Wars, which I think is kind of a nice extra level. But so as you sort of begin to sniff from just afar, there's this weird feeling in your mouth where you're just kind of like, you're like dead too long. You smell the rot on it, and it's not appealing.
Rot. Yes.
This person you would suspect with an 8 in sniffing, you think they've been dead for days.
Okay, so I have no desire to bite them.
You have no desire to sink your teeth into the cheek. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I would like to go and brush the dirt off of their face and see if it is someone that I actually recognize.
Understood. You sort of brush some dirt away. This is not someone you recognize at all. They look like a local person. It's just a man. And with a very small amount of brushing, it becomes very apparent that the head has been severed roughly.
Oh dear.
There. And I'm gonna sort of say, given the multiple super high rolls you've just done at looking, kind of it doesn't take long, especially with that enhanced sniffing power you have, that as you look around, you see a little thing, kind of, maybe could have been some hands. You see something that looks like it might have been a foot.
Oh.
You think someone has been cut up and planted around this garden, but not too deeply.
Oh dear. So whoever did this, they were in quite the hurry.
For this,
I mean, I can assume.
roll an intelligence roll, or an intellect roll, 65.
Oh, as dumb as I thought.
No, you're not.
56. Success.
Looking at this, it doesn't seem to be hasty. I'm gonna roll that into a basic no roll. You know how probably Sarah Quill would have done this as a youth at some point. You know, you don't necessarily plant a seed all that deep. You just kind of dig up a little bit and you put something in and you just kind of cover it up.
And pour water on it. Just so it gets enough nutrients to root.
That's the idea.
Interesting. So this person was planted, is what I'm assuming.
I'm going to say that based on that roll and what you've seen, and almost it looks like it has been planted in rows.
You
These
know,
body
I
parts.
did once read a romance novel where a woman planted a tree and it grew into a man. So this is logical to me.
Sarah Quill actually read that romance novel.
Yes. Not me, Lauren. Sarah Quill did.
I wouldn't say anything
It's
about you.
also a novel that Lauren just made up. So
I'm just asking you.
just context.
So,
Anyway, this makes complete sense. But perhaps someone planted a man to grow a tree.
could be the case.
Or a special flower.
Maybe. That begins to ring a bell. After all, flowers that want blood.
Does this get Sarah Quill's gears turning about flowers that she has encountered that seem to have quite human qualities?
I think that's a perfectly logical gears to turn.
Okay. Is there perhaps a gardener's cottage, or is this not a large enough estate?
No, this is. Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yes, my family did have.
Would it have had a cottage? I'll tell you what. Please roll a luck roll.
Oh goodness. Well, it's about 50-50.
On the 20. Where did the other one go? I can't find it on this. Oh, that stood right up on its thing. So it's a 25.
25.
It got caught in between some die and was just standing. It was standing like this.
Sounds good. Sarah, you look around, and there is a small gardener's shed. Where's the back of the property?
Can I take the hem of my skirt and tear off pieces of material and shove it up my nose?
Easily done.
Okay, I would like to do that, and I would like to approach the gardener's cottage and knock on the door.
I'm so sorry. A cottage? Oh no, it's like a shed. It's like a tool shed.
Well, she doesn't know about those things.
Understood.
So she will go
Sorry.
She assumes that there is a little man living in there.
Perfectly reasonable.
That tends to
Then you knock on the gardener's cottage. I understand. You understood what I was describing, and she's knocking anyway. Love it. Sarah Quill goes up to this shed.
Mm-hmm.
Your knocks sound rattling. Each one kind of the door just like on its little hinges.
Oh dear.
And for a moment you're afraid that you might be heard by the people singing, but
yes.
no one seems to hear.
So I would like to quietly, my nose is stuffed with material from my dress now, but I would like to, can I open the door ever so gently?
It is latched but not locked.
Can I unlatch it?
Absolutely.
Gently.
Gently. Make another stealth roll. And this is a standard.
That is... Oh my gosh! 4! Jeez!
Wow.
I don't know if it matters for this one, but...
You know what? That's an extreme success, and even if it was a sleight of hand, was what really should have been not stealth, but both ways you did well. So yes, we'll say that you're able to just quietly just hold it just so that kind of this sort of rickety mechanism doesn't make any sound, and you pull it open and you're looking into a pitch black shed, just about 3 feet deep. However, Sarah, your eyes are sharp in the night. You look in and you see several tools. Many of them, the wooden handles almost rotting, but a few seem to be in good working order.
Okay, I would like to go in and examine to see which ones have been freshly used, perhaps.
Excellent. Is there an investigate scat? We've done this so long ago. This is actually complicated because I look at the Star Wars one all the time, so I don't remember what everything's called, Yeah, just make a look roll then.
Okay.
Or a spot hidden, rather.
I fucking love these dice. 12.
12. Oh yeah, that's gonna be really good for you.
That's an extreme success again.
So as you look through, yes, it is very clear that there's a hoe and a shovel that have been used recently.
And is there anything notable about I'm gonna take these out of my nose right now. Is there anything notable about the hoe and the shovel, or do they just look regular?
They look, to your guess, to not have been in here with all the other pieces. It looks to you like someone brought them in much more recently. They are not high-end, brand new ones, but they're in usable condition, and they don't look like they don't look of a piece with all the more rotten tools.
Okay,
Rotten and rusted tools.
On my family's estate, we did have a mark that did indicate that it was our property, so that none of our servants were to take anything. Not that I would blame them if they did, because, you know, people are in need. But my family was very particular about those things. So I would like to go and examine it to see if there is perhaps any name.
With the extreme success you've rolled, you don't see any markings on these tools.
Okay, well...
You suspect that you don't think this house that you're behind, this house that this garden is behind, does not appear to be it is not a fine house. Probably doesn't have servants. It is a nice house, but it is not an estate.
Well, I do not, to be fair, I do not know what other people do.
Sure.
I was not allowed out of my house very much. So I only know what I know.
I only know what I know. Well, that's a very fair point.
Okay, so I will go ahead and leave the shed. Are there any flowers that look familiar to me?
Are you particularly looking for a Dark Lords and Ladies?
Yes.
I'm gonna say with the rolls you've already made, you did not see any back here, no.
Okay, I didn't figure, but I think there might be some time in the next couple weeks or months, perhaps. Okay, so...
to that point...
yes.
Give me another intellect roll.
Oh, gosh. I don't even know what it is. That is... Oh, goodness, that is a 77.
You have a 65 in your intellect.
Oh, yeah, fail.
So there's you, and I'm gonna actually say there's this little thing, just this kind of thought, just kind of still tickling the back of your mind. Something about all this, but you can't quite put it together. This is you sort of, I assume you're now looking out of this shed once again. The house remains sort of this sort of gray colored house ahead of you.
I will go to the house.
Walk up to the house. There is a back door you could go around to the front.
I will go to the back door. Very tentative. I will put the pieces of material back into my nose, though.
Very good. All right. You go to the back door. It does appear to be locked. There are some windows, however, that would require some maybe climbing to access, but one of the windows is cracked open.
I would like to go to the cracked open window.
All right. Go ahead and make a climb roll, but you get a bonus on it.
Oh, thank you. Oh, goodness. No.
Oh, wait, your climb should be higher because of shenanigans. Your climb, we're going to make your climb a 50.
Well, that was a hard success then.
So as you sort of reach out to the wall, it almost feels slightly like your finger pads stick as you start pulling yourself up. Almost as if you're like digging into the wall, but you're able to get to this window. You open it up, and you can pull yourself in.
Okay. I would like to tentatively take one piece of material out of my nostrils so I can smell to see if there are perhaps any live beings around.
Make a smell roll, which for you is spot hidden.
That is a 50.
You sniff about,
Success.
and you don't smell any living things. There definitely is. This is a very moldy space. Decent amount of rot, but no. You don't smell live individuals.
Okay, so I will take the other one out and keep it handy, and I will continue throughout the house, but I will say, hello.
In response to you saying those words, you actually hear a slight creaking coming from a room upstairs. It's just like a...
Like a door. Or like a step.
Didn't sound like a door. It sounded like a... It sounded hinged, but it didn't sound exactly like a door.
Okay. I would like to go and explore the sound because, you know, the longer I'm exploring a house with no living beings, the longer I'm away from my very dear friends and from people. So,
You make your way to the front of this house, up the staircase, which is in ill repair but doesn't seem to be dangerous. At the top of the stair, which is just everything's pitch black, but your eyes, it's just, you can see. You see there are 3 bedroom doors. 2 of them are open, 1 of them is closed.
Do I see into the open doors?
You can glance into those rooms. You simply see 2 bedrooms. The first...
No, I think... Oh, sorry, go on. I think I
First-
just realized something.
The first is pretty unadorned. Nothing too notable. It doesn't look like it's been used for a long time. And in fact, there's like pictures on the wall that have been like removed. You can see kind of like, you know, the stains of where they used to hang. Bit of water damage on the walls as well. Nothing too exceptional in this chamber. The next one you look in is interesting because at the foot of the bed, there's a large chest that is open. You can't see into the chest from where you're standing. But as you sort of approach, you hear that creaking sound a little more.
From the chest or from behind me?
You didn't see the chest move, but as you sort of began to look in this room, and this chest is now sort of wide open, the back lid of it flopped over onto the table.
I would like to peer into the chest.
You look into the chest, and within you see a dollhouse.
Size? How large?
Fairly small. It fits within the chest. Like, you know, you can kind of
Okay.
pick it up. It's around, I don't know, maybe 18 inches
Wasn't
wide.
sure if there were any paranormal things happening where I looked in the box and it was actually huge. I don't know.
It's just a
Never
little
know.
dollhouse.
Okay.
The
Can I
dollhouse
pick
is
it
of a sort of a like a Scottish baronial style.
up? Is it cute?
It's pretty. Yes, Sarah would think it's cute, certainly.
Okay, well, I would like to, not me, Sarah. I would like to, reach for it and lift it up.
Okay. It's this kind of old baronial sort of stone facade, although it is just painted wood. You see, it's kind of it would be for like pretty small little dolls, you know. It's not like a huge dollhouse. You can kind of, it doesn't seem like it. You can fold it open, but on the front of it is a little sign that reads "Trow House."
Okay. Are there any lights on inside of this dollhouse? I know electricity does not exist, but
No lights.
okay.
Are you inspecting it? Are you looking?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, did I get a glimpse of the house that had appeared on
I
the
don't
property?
believe Sarah Quill ever saw through the mist and saw this house. No.
I was already inside the manor.
I think you were mostly inside the manor at this point.
Yes. Okay. Just wondered.
Sarah,
Don't want to anything. Yes.
you do notice, if you sort of look around, on the bottom of this, if you kind of look at the bottom of it, there is actually a little note has been written, or like almost like not an inscription, but kind of like a dedication of sorts. says is, to my dearest Pearl, a place you can find everything you seek. A dash. D.
Does this handwriting look masculine or feminine?
Neither.
Oh. Did I hear anyone refer to anyone else as Pearl?
Sarah Quill has not.
Okay, fair enough. Okay. Is there anywhere I can place this dollhouse?
I am so sorry. It says ND, not D.
ND.
N period
Oh,
D.
What was what was the master's name of the other house?
Craven Gate.
So long. Okay. ND. Do I know Dowell's first name? By any chance?
I do not believe you ever learned Dowell's first name. Largely because I don't know that Dowell had a first name. Let's look at. No, we're just gonna look at. We're gonna look at that player's sheet. Real quick. Gotta go to my. Sorry, guys.
I feel as though we were very best friends. He never even got downgraded to very good friends or very dear
Yeah,
friends.
he died much too early for that.
He did.
Here it is. But no, you don't. Just as Mr. Haha! So,
MD.
ND.
And does this seem okay, so I rationalizing here.
Oh, God.
As I got older, and my parents just kept me in my house longer and longer, my dollhouses began to get more and more complex and were perhaps not for children, but for someone older. So at which age would I gauge this dollhouse to be?
It seems for someone pretty young. And it seems, and it also just seems generally very, it's like not super detailed, not too big.
Okay.
It's a sort of a littler sort of thing.
So it is for a child.
You would
I
think
can presume.
Either for a child or if it's for a collector, it's for someone who, it's just it wouldn't be your primary dollhouse if you're a dollhouse person, or it would be if you were very poor.
Oh,
I guess I should throw that out there.
Yes, that is. I've heard of poor people.
Oh God.
She's very empathetic to them, but she, was not exposed. Okay. I will set it down gently.
Back in the.
No. On if there's a dresser.
There's a dresser for sure. As you sort of are setting it down,
Okay.
because of the terrible number I rolled, and your not inconsiderable listen score of 70,
Yes.
You do hear a key turning and a door opening below.
I will shove the material up my nose and I'm sorry, this happened at the front door, you said?
You don't know, you're up in a room right now, but it sounded to be coming from downstairs in one of the doors, yes.
Okay, I will hold very still and listen.
You hear footsteps.
Are they coming
They
up the stairs?
They pause for a moment, but then, yes, they do begin to come up the stairs.
Okay. I would. So I'm standing, just like to crouch down, like quietly, just,
Okay.
and hold my breath.
I guess make a stealth roll.
Oh, that's a 1! If they come up, they will find me.
A 1?
A 1.
Well,
I'm
then
telling you, these pearl dice.
you, Pearl, hey, listen to that.
I mean, not real pearl.
You roll under the bed,
So.
making absolutely no noise. There is nothing under there but dust bunnies. Hop, 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 hop. No. You sort of grip your mouth, trying to make no sound, to smell nothing. Shoving that fabric back in. The steps seem to come to this room, and through the sheer fabric of the footing of the bed, you sense a soft, gold-tinted glow. A footstep into the room. And then a sort of no idea you're there. A sort of a, oh. How is it that how is it you're out? You hear footsteps, and this voice is speaking. You are a most... Oh, you are a curious thing, I will give you this. But how do I find you? Where are you? Drow house. You hear click, click, as if the dollhouse is being opened. No, not a clue at all. Not a clue at all. Sound of it snapping together. Indeed. So many questions. Curse this place, curse every place. Pacing for a few moments. Do you wish to be left where I found you, or do you want to return to where you are kept? Then head take you! And you hear a sudden burst of speed and sort of strength, and you hear shattering of wood. And you see little kind of in the thing, just little.
The dollhouse.
You saw the dollhouse, little shards of it kind of go clattering around as he's thrown it to the ground. And then you hear the case slam closed, the chest at the end of the bed. You hear panting for a few moments. Then the footsteps leave the room. Notably, Sarah Quill, at no point that figure was there, you felt no compulsion to attack that person.
Well, I would assume so. I had.
Logical assumption.
I actually, though, was going to say, does she experience, like, residual smells of people? Like, would she, like, because when he leaves, I was actually going to say, can I pull out the material and smell? Or is that not something she would sense?
You could try it. She doesn't know yet. You remove and you inhale deeply. Make a smell roll.
Okay. And this is...
You have a 90 in smell, apparently.
Oh, well, good, because that's a 58.
You smell incense.
I'm sorry, I felt...
Incense.
And this light that I saw...
The light is gone.
Well, I'm trying to think about it. Did it seem angelic to me?
Make a religion roll. I think that's a stat. All right. Sure, bird.
What's Mr. Mercy?
But there's not religion. God. Make it a cult, I guess. Dang.
Holy moly, 15. But I don't know how. Yo, that's a hard success.
Taken with the glow and this strange... It smells like church. So yeah, you get a small sense of...
Do I hear... Oh, sorry. Do I hear any other doors opening?
You heard the footsteps leave the room. You've heard nothing else since then.
Okay, I would... And the front door has not opened.
Have not heard the front door open yet.
Okay, I would like to, as quietly as possible, sneak out from under the bed and look around and see if anything came out of the smashed dollhouse, like dolls.
Wonderful.
Or anything.
Make a stealth roll.
Okay.
That's not very high.
Nope, fail.
Okay. So you kind of, as you roll out, there's a real, like, you sort of maybe roll in a different place than you rolled in, and there's a real, like, you know, on a floorboard and a couple times. But now you sort of look around. Make a look roll.
38.
That is hard, not extreme, I think.
Wait.
Spot
do
hidden.
you
I'm
mean-
sorry.
Spot hidden.
It's called.
Yes.
That is
hard.
It should have been called look the whole time, and the
No.
fact that they call it spot hidden is an American tragedy.
This is not in America.
That's fair. It's a Berkshirean.
In a vaguely British place.
What did you roll? Hey, that's a hard success.
A 38.
Sarah Quill.
Yes.
You begin to look through these shards to see if there's any sort of, secret component, kind of half gathering them up. But you don't find anything. Oh wow, that's really good. And as you're sort of like on the ground, sort of looking, the light comes suddenly behind you.
I will turn around.
You see this tall, very good-looking gentleman, blonde hair, and he is softly glowing. He's wearing a very sort of nice suit. He's just looking down at you, but it seems kind of odd and cut. It's not a common one to you. Almost like what that weird Mikey Santangelo guy was wearing. It's more along that kind of line of a suit.
Right.
But he's just sort of looking down at you, his head inclined, saying, "Oh, the mystery deepens."
You smell like church. Did anyone ever tell you that? I was not allowed out of my house very much, but the church was one place that I was allowed to go. And I found quite a lot of peace there. And for some reason, your scent is rather calming. But I just can't understand why a person would smell that way or glow as you do. But of course, stranger things have happened.
He takes a couple steps towards you.
Can I make a charm roll?
Sure.
Okay, 59. I'm gonna use 8 luck to make it a hard success.
Go ahead. So you cannot click it if you do that.
I know. That's fine.
Understood. God, you're the only person who didn't meet this guy earlier. Everyone else met him.
Huh?
You were in bed, having dream. Oh no, you were in bed having dreams of Oksana. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he just kind of he looks at you.
Yes.
Smiles. Says, "You're adorable."
Thank you. The gentleman that my parents brought over to betroth me did not agree so much. They said I talk too much. And
Well, he is a fool.
there were several, unfortunately.
Well then, so much the benefit for whoever comes next.
Well, I'm not sure who will.
What
all
is your
things
name,
considered.
my dear?
My name is Sarah. Sarah Quill.
Hmm.
And she'll, like,
He takes your hand and kisses it and says, "I am Monsieur Etienne René."
well, it is lovely to
Mademoiselle
meet you.
Quill.
Yes.
Why are you hiding? Are you the one who took this little house, this maison?
No.
You put it on this?
Oh, well, I was hiding because I don't belong here, it appeared that this place had been abandoned and in disrepair, so I didn't think anyone cared about anything in here, so I looked in the trunk and I saw a cute little dollhouse, so I took it out and looked at it and put it there.
Of course.
I'm sorry.
Do not be sorry. I was confused. I was angry, but now I understand.
But why did you smash it then?
Oh, I was angry. I thought I was being taunted. And the past few days or day, it is hard to tell in this place, I have felt, how does one say? I felt like I have been under a shroud, and now you have come, and I feel alive again.
Interesting.
There is some focus on you that is not on me. There is some focus on certain people, and it has left this place, but it is back on us for one brief moment.
I see. Yes, well, there is something interesting about me for once. And so there may be cause for people to be looking for me, and I don't know if I would like to be found, but I would very much like to fix whatever is wrong with me.
Do you have the fabric in your nose at this point?
No.
Oh, you pulled it out to smell, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I do have it handy, though.
Something
That's why I
interesting.
don't smell like church.
Yeah, exactly. Something interesting is going on with this guy. Your senses do pick up his heartbeat, but it's not happening fast enough.
Oh.
It's like after a minute or so, you see this like gold pulse within him that your sort of heightened senses are picking up.
This might be a rude question, but I encountered several strange things in Merkshire.
So have I.
Are you human?
No, my dear, I am not.
Oh, that's why you don't. That's why you don't look. You look
You can.
very angelic.
This is because I'm an angel from a golden heaven, trapped in this dark world. But you belong in a light place like that, not a dark place like this, as do I.
Well, I'm not sure if I belong much of anywhere. I
No.
made.
You belong somewhere good. I can tell. People cannot lie to
There's-
me. I know
I'm not
honesty, I
lying.
know kindness, precisely. You are a
Well-
kind person.
I would like to stay here because I have plenty of very best friends and very dear friend. Well, one very dear friend. Wait, do I know if Conrad's dead or not?
You know he was hurt. No, you guys think he's alive. You guys think he's just resting.
Oh, sad for Sarah! Okay, well, I have several very good friends and one very dear friend, here in Merkshire, and, once I get my condition resolved, I would like to return to them.
What is your condition, my dear?
Place. I just, I do not get along with people very well. I have compulsions to be very, violent.
Is a vampirism upon you, my child?
I wouldn't call it that. I just have a thirst that, is unquenchable aside from a very specific liquid, that I cannot obtain from rivers.
He sort of smiles at you and says, he puts like a hand on your shoulder. He's, just kind of looking down at you, and it's hard not to just be taken by this just sort of, like inhumanly handsome guy. Have I said an actor for him before?
I think you did, but like a year ago.
I'm gonna go with my usual, just like certain kind of handsome guy. Matthew Good. You know that guy? British actor.
No.
And whatever. That's who I see with him. But he's like sort of like very just like blonde. Matthew Good is not always blonde, though he has been. But he's just kind of smiling down at you, and he's just.
Him?
No, that's not.
Sure.
No. But French, I guess. I don't know. But he's.
Okay.
He's
You are, you're in a lot of danger. This has come here because of what they are doing here in this village. They think me some sign of the green god Pan, but I am no sign of this.
Question. Was Sarah familiar with Mercy and Rawlings' interaction with Etienne?
it might have been mentioned, but she did not hear about kind of their stuff.
But it's not something that would have.
No.
Context.
No.
Did not have. So
No,
didn't
would
stick.
have had no context for it.
Fair enough. Well, I mean, I wouldn't say it's not safe for me here. It's not safe for me being here for my friends, because they would be in danger, because all they want to do is for them to be safe, and I don't feel that I can keep them safe anymore, so someone told me I should seek out an angel to fix this.
Someone told you to seek an angel to fix your vampirism.
Well, I don't know if this is vampirism.
No,
because
it is, my dear. It is. It is completely what is upon you. But
I was pricked by a flower. It's not.
yes, this is the doing of these imbeciles here. This foolishness, this lesser dread they are trying to inspire. It cannot hold against what comes. You, my darling, I can save you.
You can cure me.
Yes.
How?
May I see your teeth? He kind of
Go.
puts a hand under your chin and sort of teens up, and he says, "Your incisors have not grown in." Then what I will do is I will it is not so easy to do, but I will slash open my wrist, and you will drink your fill of me.
And what will happen?
I may think of holiness and joy. You will be cured.
Will I die?
No, you will live. death that festers within you, ready to take you into itself, to make you its instrument, to corrupt you. It will be gone, and in its place you will drink what I am.
I had dreams. When this first started happening to me, a ball. Although the dresses were different than I'd ever seen.
Tell me more of this.
There was a young woman doing things that I had never imagined.
He sort of pauses on that, and he begins to ask about the dresses themselves, describe the clothing, describe the people. Do you tell him what you remember?
Yes.
And he kind of grips you by the shoulders and says,
Darling, did you see this on the night that I arrived here, the night of that storm?
Was it that night?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know when you arrived, but yes, it was the night of the storm.
You were the girl asleep in the other room. Forgive me for not coming to you then. You saw where I had been trapped. You saw a place called paradise, but it is no paradise. It is no heaven. The vampires. I don't understand what is happening. I thought that I could come here. I thought that I could escape, but there is an oppression of this place. I know only 2 clues to my escape. One is someone whose name is Walker. 2 is this place called Trow House.
What was the name?
Walker.
Check my notes. Do I recognize that name?
You do. But
Where do I recognize it from?
do you recognize it now? Actually, I am simply going to say you remember it. Walker was the name of a footman, Sarah Quill.
Oh, that's right.
A footman who you guys, I think, determined was a ghost.
Yes.
Now, did that happen before or after?
Don't remember. It's been a while.
Oh, Walker. Everyone forgive us. We are having to, I'm having to do a little bit more research because this is not the domain I was ready to be in tonight.
We haven't been here for a couple months.
Well, we came back here briefly. But then it was like pre the first trip to Heistales that we were here for so long. Yeah, you met Walker for sure. You saw Walker. Conrad figured out Walker was a ghost.
Okay. And I knew that he was a ghost, or was he a potential friend?
Shoot, I'm sorry. You definitely heard them say he was a ghost, whether or not you witnessed him fully being a ghost, because only Conrad did first, and then you put on Conrad's hat with the water and it splashed all over you.
Right.
Which was...
Oh, wow, that was a long time ago.
That was a very long time ago. It's like session 30 or something. No, that was session like 29. Session 31. Yes. Yes. You know that Walker's a ghost.
So you commune with ghosts, then?
Ghosts?
Yes. Well, like I said, strange things have happened. Walker. Well, the only Walker I know is a ghost. He's a footman at Craven Gate Estate.
A footman? A ghost?
Or at least he was pretending to be so. You never know.
No, I see. I want to help you, and I want to learn the things that you can tell me.
Okay.
I want more than this. There is something irresistible about you. The people here
Wait,
are...
am I on board with this or no?
What do you mean?
Can I decide if Sarah is
Yeah.
like,
100%.
Okay.
Yes, that's entirely.
Okay.
There's this. He's just sort of like,
No, yes, you are not you. The people here are... There is a different quality to this place, but from you, perhaps. I will cure you. This will be done as soon as you say the word. But I would marry you if that is what it would take to be with you.
Oh dear. I don't understand. Why?
Because I assume you would not want to know me carnally unless we were wed.
I believe there has been a misunderstanding, Mr. Angel Etienne. I would just like to, not hurt my friends.
Of course.
I don't know you. Why would I marry you?
As I said, I thought it would be a requirement.
A requirement of whom?
If you are interested, I can show you pleasures you cannot even conceive of here.
Okay. I am very unsure about what is going on, and I have read very many romance novels, even paranormal romance novels, and I am still at a loss here.
Do you wish for me to explain, or would you like me to drop the subject?
Well, I am just curious. Why me? You have just met me. No other suitors have ever been interested in me, and all of a sudden there's an angel, allegedly, who looks like you, who is interested in betrothing.
I am an
marrying.
angel.
at this, 2 white wings spread out behind his back.
There is no doubt of this.
Well, yes, and I am.
And the glow coming off of him is that much more intense in the room.
And I am just me. Why me? Until the flower bit me, or whatever it is, I was just ordinary. And now I have an angel proposing marriage to me. What is going on?
You seem kind. It has been a very long time since I have lain with someone who is kind. This place has corrupted all. You seem sweet and innocent. I will not. There is no pressure, there is no coercion, and I do not want to make you uncomfortable. I simply desire you.
This is all, Etienne, this is all very sudden, and I do appreciate your, forwardness. I'm not sure if I want to be married immediately.
Of course, if you do not need to be married to engage in such a congress, I am happy for us to not be wed. But if you do not wish, if the subject is too strange to you, too foreign, where I came from, sex was everywhere.
Well, okay.
And what I have found here has been most wanting, but you are a rare flower.
Speaking of rare flowers, are you familiar with how the, what is that flower called?
Dark lords and ladies.
Are you, familiar with the Dark Lords and Ladies flower and how it grows?
I am.
Do you have to bury a human being for it to grow?
That is one of the things they have attempted, yes.
Oh, good. Okay, well, Etienne, you are very attractive and very nice, and I would like to get to know you better. I just cannot commit to a marriage. I've only just recently left my family's estate for the first time. I've experienced strength as I've never felt before.
Forgive me for making you uncomfortable. Are you ready to be cured? I will speak of it no further.
If I'm married to you, would I have to be cured?
You do not wish to be cured of your desires, your bloodlust?
Well, question. In the dream, did she see willing humans? Like, did she, or no?
Make a psychology roll on that.
Okay. Ah! 20, wait, I don't know what her score is. Hold on. Wait.
I think it's psychology. 50 is your score.
Oh, I'm gonna do another. I got a 26. I'm gonna do one luck.
To make it a 25 for a hard.
Hard, yes.
So, and this is a sort of like, and I want to be clear, this is just about the like the dark wickedness of the sort of vampire. No, the people they were feeding on did not seem to be, no, they were not willing prey, and yet there was an ecstatic moment when they were, when they knew that it was over. That two evil people would seem like I'm doing them a favor.
And in that moment, did Sarah agreed with that? She was like, that's a great moment.
That was when Sarah wasn't sure which one she wanted to be.
Right.
You weren't sure if you wanted to be the woman drinking or the one being drunk.
Right. Thank you.
Stuff gets serious here. Also, Etienne, when he shows up, well, we can talk about that in the thing. In this moment, Etienne is allowing you a cure.
Here, can I talk this out as me?
Sure.
Well, as Sarah too. This is what is in Sarah's head. She has felt strong for the first time in her life. She has felt independent for the first time in her life. She loves her friends so much, but in that moment when she had that dream and saw that woman being like adored and loved around people like her, she was like, that's what I want. Because even though I'm with my very best friends, they still don't accept me. Oh God. Okay, hold on. Okay. What would she do? This is the same question that we had when she saw that dream. Okay. Okay. You said my dream is where you're from.
You
were
dreamt
trapped
of a
there.
place that I was trapped, yes, my dear.
Why were you trapped there?
This is a complex story, but it involves I was lured to this place.
What if I want to go there?
To paradise. Paradise is ruled over by a man of stone.
What does that mean?
It means precisely how it sounds. I cannot quite understand who is in charge here. The stone man hated me, and I opposed him. The one here is growing aware of me, I think, but as of yet, the point is, nowhere is safe and nowhere is good. But if we are together, perhaps we can find a way to escape all of these realms, these DREADLANDS. You deserve to escape. But I want you to have what you want. You asked me if I married you, if I would make you be cured. The answer to this is no. If I married you, I would do all I could to defend you and protect you. If we were wed, I would use the light of heaven itself against any who would do you harm.
And then what would I become?
Whatever you want.
No, because if you take all of this away, then I'm just an ordinary girl, an ordinary strange girl that everyone dismisses. And how can I believe that you, an angel that glows, would fall in love with me in the span of less than an hour? How can I believe that?
I have not fallen in love with you.
Well, why would you ask me to marry you?
Because I believe it will not be difficult. You seem easy to love. And there is more to you than you say. There is
that's only because
resilience to you. You have survived in this place with the focus on you the way it is. This is impressive, or perhaps lucky, but either way, it means there is something special about you. I have been married before. I was not there to protect her. She was taken from me. I would never let this happen again to one I wed. But if it is not something you want, I will never bring it up again. And the offer to cure you remains. The offer to let you go remains. I want to know all you know about this ghost, this walker, but you must share nothing with me. You are free to do as you wish. But we have been drawn together, I think, by whatever divinity still remains, still can penetrate to a dark pit such as this Merkshire. I have traded antagonism for something different in this place. You don't need to decide anything now, but I fear for you if you remain a vampire. Something
Here.
seems... something
You
they
feared
are-
for me here,
Yes.
then take me away.
I cannot travel. It was only the storm that allowed it. If I had the power to walk the mists, I would have used it many times long ago.
Do I know if Sister Mercy is gone?
You think she's home. So you think she's back in the manor house. You think everything's fine at the manor house.
Oh, God.
You think Conrad is in a bed recovering at the manor house. He still seems like he is. You know that, you think Craven Gate is there outside your door trying to keep you safe. That's what he was told to do.
Yeah.
You think Polly is in a room. Of course, you would like to... here's the other thing. If you go back to that manor house, you know that if you see Polly, you are going to... You would like... I mean, you just want to rip
Sure.
her
Exactly.
throat out
Okay.
and drink every ounce of her blood.
Okay. I was thinking about mentioning Sister Mercy, but then she's a very good friend of mine. Not a very best friend because I don't know her all that well, but a very good friend. Okay. So if I were to marry you here, what would that mean? What would that do? Some holy ceremony from God himself would grant us passage to another land?
No,
Or...
it would simply be a vow we would make. And then we would make love, I assume.
No, I don't know you.
Of course. If, as I said, if that is not something you want, I will not press the issue. Isn't that what people do when they wed? Isn't this what is behind the implications of your romance novels? Isn't it in the end, as much as it is about the courtship, the love, the longing glances, in the end it is all about the sex?
Yeah, oh, well, but first comes the courtship, the love, the longing. Well, first the longing glances, then the courtship, then the love. Or sometimes the longing glances and the love, then the courtship. Or sometimes the longing glances, and then the sex. But
He sort of like steps forward and says, and this is a I should phrase this as, this is a an inclusive we. He's not speaking about him and others. He's speaking about him, people like him, and he's including it. He sort of gestures and says, for some of us, we are made of better stuff. Such pleasures, the courtship, the longing, the wonders, can all be distilled into a single moment. But again, I have spent much time in a different place, in a place where such broad gestures of love, instant desire and hearts proclaimed is common. In this place I can tell it is not your way.
Yes, well, romance under duress is quite a new thing for me. So, and she'll like pat his chest for him to move. Oh wait,
He steps back.
Monsieur, I am very intrigued by you. However, I am still trying to figure out my own mortality, either as a vampire, as you say, or as a mortal. And now that you say that I'm a vampire, I am facing a life of immortality. Or I can drink your blood and go back to just being a normal person. And this is a very conflicting issue that I'm having with myself. And perhaps I should go. And I'm going to try to walk out the door.
You're just walking away from him.
Yes. Flustered.
All right. He kind of just lets you go and sort of shakes his head. You, with your good, you won't have to roll in this. Yeah, he doesn't hide this, but he kind of just like as you walk away, there's just this moment where you kind of almost hear him say, "She is exquisite. I must have her." Are you just going down the steps?
No, I want to open the door that was closed.
You just move past him, go to the other door. Great.
Like, I don't know what else to do. I'm gonna go
in
this.
that room, interestingly, there is no bed, but you do see that on the floor, there are some like blankets and like some pillows, as if someone had been sleeping there. There's also a few plates on the ground and teacups. These don't seem to have been here for like months and months, more like maybe a week or so. They have been unattended. So you suspect someone was recently staying in here.
Interesting. Okay, I'll walk out and be like, well, there's another mystery to solve. Apparently there was a person in here, and I do believe that they probably buried the body in the backyard, perhaps cut them up as well. So I have a lot to think about right now.
He's just kind of like, he just takes all of this in. His wings are gone. His glow he's turned down the glow a little bit. He's just sort of smiling. Are you, so you're not investigating that room any further? You're just,
Nope. I'm gonna walk down the stairs and go back into the garden. I don't know what this turned into. She's so flustered.
Understandable. You walk out into the garden. It is as you left it. There's a slight light on upstairs at the window, but then it goes. He does not come out here.
She'll just have angels and just... Oh, God, I don't know. Are people still singing?
Yes. Speaking of which, Can you make a power roll?
Uh-oh.
What'd we roll?
Yes.
13?
Yes.
All right, well, the good news is I think that's a success.
So
for
happy
you.
for a second. I was like, no.
13, please roll a d13. Come on and do it. You know you want to do it. It would be so good if you did it. Did you roll a 13?
I'm crying.
Did you roll a 13? All right. So, to people who don't know how this works, this is something called a horror surge.
Oh boy, Sarah. Going back in jail.
I am going to... Let me look at my Merkshire list real quick. Go ahead and roll your D13 again, but depending on what you roll, I might make a different choice.
2.
Yeah, that's just not. Sometimes the dice. We obviously trust the dice. We follow the dice, but at this point, the what that is. Okay. So I'm actually going to be doing something in which we're just fully sort of violating things. So Sarah Quill.
Yes.
I don't actually need any rolls from you.
Okay.
You. That power roll you just made and you resist for a moment was that you saw two people kind of like walking back from where they were going. Kind of they must have been singing and they're heading home. And you resist the urge to feed.
Mm-hmm.
But then in your head, this green feeling sort of descends. And you feel that horror surge. You've been present for them before. I think Sarah Quill would have at least witnessed one. But it's a different feeling this time. And you hear this voice just kind of quietly speaking, not in language, but in truth, ringing from within your veins. And we all will sing the last green song. Hey, nonny, 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 hey, nonny, no, will we sing? And with one exultant noise, we will sing in one green voice. Hey, nonny, 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 hey, nonny, no, will we sing? And your vision goes from red to green. When you finally come to your senses, covered in blood, you feel full. You glance back towards the side of the house. Those first two people ripped apart. A trail from them leads to your next victim, a girl of about 13 or 14. 3 other sort of farmhand types closer to the fire, which still burns, still illuminates behind you. It's easy to count the bodies. You know how many they number now. 13. Your face is slick. Your hands are coated in it. You've given in.
Can I... I'm gonna scream for Etienne. with hands covered in blood, shrieking.
All right. You cry out, Etienne. You hear shuffling behind you. As you glance back, you see this small sort of tumble of vines that is sort of pulling itself along, almost as if it's this like shambling mass of plant life. It looks up at you, and these several leaves just sort of fold into a face, kind of glancing up. And it says, "You'll do. You'll do." And it kind of just crawls on top of one of the bodies that you've exsanguinated and begins to drink what remains. And as you look around, you see plants all over this village are coming out and beginning to drink what remains of the corpses you've created. You call for Etienne again. He has to make a power roll to resist. I just rolled a 99.
Is that a fumble?
It is not a fumble for him, but he basically, you hear the beating of wings. A golden light in the sky. It seems the golden light that he casts from his own body paints the utter brutality of what you've done to the people of Laugrave. In like, it looks so much more unholy in the glow of this heavenly being, and those plant-like things drinking of them, and you see what of the flower kind of flower-made, leaf-made faces turning up, and these two fangs like thorns are just emerging from it. These thorns are turning into fangs. It's kind of forming itself. It's this sort of sympathetic combination between the two. Etienne flies down to you and kind of just like looks at you with like absolute shock. What have you done?
I don't know.
I tried to offer,
I don't know. I didn't mean to. I don't remember doing any of this.
Sarah Quill, you then hear in the distance, and you know it comes for you, and you know that all your friends are dead because you have just consumed blood. You have this sudden realization that that man who came and talked to them, he will come for them. But now you hear a black horse whinnying. And you hear Etienne sort of peers. And he turns to you and says, "Give me your hand. Come to me."
I don't deserve it.
I still think you do.
I'll reach out.
You reach out. He pulls you close to him. And with the speed of divinity itself, he kicks off the ground, his white wings beating this beacon of light against the darkness of Merkshire as he flies you, trying to get you to safety. And that's where we'll end tonight's session.
Oh my God.
That was a fun one. I'm going to sort of say, I really kind of just broke a rule and on some level some player agents there, because though you succeeded because of a horror surge, I decided you were the horror surge. So you rather than 13 monsters, one monster killed 13. So we'll have to revisit Sarah Quill and Etienne Renee
Oh,
on a later date. And boy, here's what I did not say during the game, because there was some semblance of him like trying to frame it and stuff, and he wasn't outright lying. He's certainly very clear, but it is big. The problem is that Etienne just wants to.
Yeah, and Sarah's not.
That's not where Sarah is. But Etienne came here and like whatever. Let's phrase it like this: Etienne was in Paradise, which is nothing but Steinman, album covers, and it's just sex. And now he's here where everyone's buttoned up, and like, did he hook up with a bunch of people in this cult in this town you just killed? He probably did, but I don't think it was what he was looking for. I think he felt this was a real downgrade from Paradise. And then he sees Sarah Quill. So he's a creep. But he would have cured you no problem because he's an angel. He's like, that's fine. But then something else just happened.
Bad things.
I'd like to tell you, I want you to thank your dice for me, if you would, your D13.
Dice.
Say, D13, you did a great job. D13, you did something amazing tonight.
D13. I'll take it out of jail.
Yeah, that D13 doesn't belong in jail. That D13 belongs on a throne.
I have it on 13. D13, you did something amazing tonight.
You did.
Thank you. Thank you for keeping my very dear friend. She's not my best friend at this point. She murdered a village. My very dear friend, Sarah Quill, alive for now. Off to go to jail. Once again.
All right. Well, that was kind of a fun one. Oh my gosh, poor Etienne's wife. By the way, remember what happened to Etienne's wife? You might not have been there for that.
Vaguely.
I'll give you a quick reminder. There was a woman named Carla.
Yes.
And Carla had a day, and she caved in Etienne's wife's head. Etienne wasn't happy about that. If you want to read more about Etienne, if you go to our Discord and go to the download section and go to Blood from a Stone, we have a novella called A Taste of Paradise. That is, it's set there before the game started, briefly before the game started, and Etienne is a character in it, and you can actually meet his wife in it as well. Deliria, his deceased wife he was talking about, is in that novella. So there you go. If you want to read a kind of a very lurid
more sad stuff.
If you want to read some more, oh boy,
weird.
Well, that was fun. I hope you enjoyed that.
I totally did. It did, like, I never would have guessed what happened.
Oh my god.
I thought she was gonna die. Honestly, I mean, she still might, but I thought she would die on this night, July 1st of the year of our Lord 2020.
2022. It's 2022, by the way. Hey, you know what's cool? Is what year it is is probably not the year you're thinking.
Like someone in the chat said earlier, time is an illusion. It doesn't exist, and I don't believe in it.
Well, that was super fun. Please join us next week. I cannot tell you which domain we will be in next week at this time. There is Blood from a Stone, if you can't tell, is a very sprawling narrative. There are 13 Dreadlands. We have visited 4 of them. We have been to Paradise, Merkshire, Hysteles, and now Rocket Base 95. And we're beginning to have people sort of, now that we've kind of crossed that like 50, 52 mark, we're having people sort of cross between them in sort of more ways. So it's possible we'll be back here for Sarah Quill if for some reason you're the only person available. It's possible we will have our long-awaited visit to Hysteles with Dahlia as she tries to save, because she's just trying to save Oksana, who's also a vampire. Vampires all over the place. There's a lot going on here. Or we might be back in Rocket Base with that crew. It'll all depends on a lot of things. So join us next week for Blood from a Stone. But before then, we got a lot of other fun things for you. I'm sorry. Do you have to?
I do want to thank people before people start logging off.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yuski, you are a real one.
Oh my gosh!
Community sub and 100 bits. Thank you so much, Nerd Join. I know who you are. Love you. Thank you so much for joining. Gifted 5 community subs. Galanorian Saber. Sorry if I mispronounced that. a community sub. Thank you so much. Muski, more cheer bits. And I cheered 3 bits.
I think literally every bit helps would be the phrase. But that's so nice. Thank you all so much for that. That's really, really appreciated.
Not me.
That's really awesome. I hope you guys enjoyed this craziness tonight. I was talking about other things you can watch on Sunday and Monday. And yes, I know that Monday is the 4th of July. So if you'll after the fireworks, come watch more fireworks on our channel. I don't have anything. I'm sorry. It's just we're still playing because apparently everyone's available. So there you go. So on Sunday and Monday we got our Star Warps. On Sunday we have Luminous Beings. On Monday we have Crude Matter. I'm gonna say that game has been really like pushing the boundaries and doing weird stuff in our past. Our last Monday's game was really crazy, really fun stuff happening. So check that out. Join us at 7:30, and then on Tuesday, I'm deeply excited about this as well. We had our session 0 this past week, which was super fun. I've been putting it all together on Tuesday, 7:30 Pacific time. Chapter 1 of Murder by Murder, which is an Agatha Christie style murder mystery that sort of the players kind of contributed to the setting, the location. It's going to be at an English manor house on a small island off the coast. I was trying to think of it being one of the Channel Islands, a bailiwick like Jersey or Guernsey. But it's probably just going to be off the coast of Devon because that just feels more appropriate, and I think a Devonshire accent is one that's.
Isn't it called the Channel?
Okay.
I have a friend from there, and he said the Channel.
No, the Channel is a tunnel under the English Channel.
No, but I thought the Channel Island.
That's his accent, but there's the Channel Islands, which are in the English Channel between England and France, Jersey and Guernsey, and.
Nobody listened to me. Wait, shut up. Happy early birthday, Sophia Distracted.
Oh, happy early birthday.
I'm sorry. We had to interrupt our arguing for that.
I'm comfortable
also,
with it.
I probably did say it wrong.
It's just, but
thank you so much.
You've heard of Channel because the Channel is a thing. It goes from Dover, I think?
I don't know.
I care and I want to say it on the stream. The Channel Tunnel, also called the Channel. That's the Strait of Dover.
The Channel Tunnel.
It basically goes from Dover to Calais. And I gotta say, it's pretty crazy that they built a tunnel under the ocean. That is pretty insane, guys. Can we just give them a little credit for that? They built a tunnel under the ocean. They did it, they built it from 1988 to 1994. It's 31 miles. All right, I'll stop. Guys, I'm going to stop talking about the channel eventually. Oh my gosh. Well, anyway, that was some wild stuff. Thank you all so much. So yeah, we'll be back next week with something. It might be Rocket Base 95. It might be Heistalies. It could theoretically even be here.
Sure.
I mean, I don't think it'll be Paradise, although oh god, am I ready? I'm ready to do another Paradise Invocation.
Oksana is ready.
I know Oksana's ready. I'll actually give a brief peek behind the curtain tonight, and I basically, based on who was going to sort of be around for this game, once we couldn't do our Heistalies one, I was trying to decide between a Sarah Quill thing or an Oksana thing. We went with Sarah Quill for various reasons, which I'm so happy we did. This was great. You did. You literally rolled it. That is literally the reason.
I couldn't decide.
So very good. So that's the fun stuff we got coming up on our channel. Star Wars and Agatha Christie mysteries and more horror insanity somewhere. So please tune in for all that fun stuff. Visit our Discord. A lot more activity going on there these days. Fun stuff. Visit our About page here. You can see all the cool stuff our players are up to. Do I say another thing?
The Dreadlands in the Discord. It's more active now. I'm in there. Sometimes Philip is too. Every now and then. Follow the Discord. Pay attention to the Dreadlands, and we'll chat. live. I'll be on camera. Philip won't.
I am sometimes. I was one time.
Oh, that is true.
It's like, and I would have been the other time, I hadn't turned my camera on.
That's true. But join the Discord, and we hang out in the Dreadlands, and I named it the Dreadlands because...
Activity is inversely related to how much real life we have going on. Thank you. Hey, I hope that your real life is going well now, and you're having a good time. I like how I'm, like, turning and saying this to another monitor as if it appears I should be doing this. Steinberg, I hope you're having a good time. Hope you're well. Be well. All right, everyone. Well, with that, I think we can say good night for the evening. I really appreciate everybody's activity in chat and all that fun stuff. This was a super fun one. I hope you enjoyed it. Man, Etienne's a creep. He's a real orgy guy, and you just, like, with everything that comes along with it. No pun intended. All right, everyone.
You know who probably loves him? Madam Ether. I hope they're having a good time.
They used to. Remember, she went to them.
No, I know.
Yeah.
But, like, I bet they're still having a great time.
Oh my god. No, not anymore. He's not there and she's a vampire. So, everyone, in any case, thank you so much. Wait.
What?
How do I end this game?
I'll say it. I'll do it. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Are you ready?
All right, so
Okay.
until next time.
All right, everyone. Until next week, have a dreadful evening.